and sway. If you have a seat open next to you, raise your hand. So there's still some seats up here.
I got a seat up here if somebody wants it.
You got two seats right here. Come on.
Got a table up here too. Oh, I do. I do bite. Absolutely, I bite. She's gonna squeeze in, so we can move over.
Is this one open?
Oh, no, there you go. She shows the aisle. It's the Southwest end. How do I not be in the middle seat?
Who needs to sign in? I'm gonna pass it around again. Okay, I got 12:30.
Pass it on back.
Oh, she's just waving. Oh, I just thought you were just waving.
So I want to welcome to the Market Center for the first time in 2019, but not a stranger to Peachtree Road by any stretch of the imagination, is the fabulous Chad Hyams. And I'm so excited that he has agreed to come in and teach several classes this year because he is one of the best instructors that I have ever taken classes from. And when he is in a Market Center, I am always in the room. I'll be in the back for most of his class, listening to him chat with you about his topic today, which is, I think, coming into the new year, really good topic.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
I don't know. What class are we doing? Oh, 7 steps to 10 listings?
7 steps to 10 listings.
I just show up.
I know, you do. 7 steps to 10 listings. So without further hesitation, I'm going to turn it over to Chad and get ready because I'm telling you, it's a roller coaster in here now, yes?
Okay.
Okay.
How about a rocket ship? Roller coasters go back down. Down. I like that part. How's she doing as your team leader right now? Now, before you go get comfy or go step back, do we have a standard KW Cares donation if phones go off during classes?
If your phone goes off during class, it's $50 to KW Cares. So I highly recommend you put it on airplane mode or turn it off.
Okay, so I'm going to step that up. If you've been in one of my classes before, you know what is coming. It is $50 to KW Cares. It is $50 to the person who snitches on you. So it is now costing you $100 if your phone goes off during class. You see, I'm not going to police you because I know what you're going to do. Your phone's going to go off. You're going to kick the person beside you. You're going to say, "Shut up! It wasn't mine." Okay, it's worth $50 to them now to say hers. Okay, so phone's off. Not vibrate mode. Vibrating across your desk is still on.
There's 6 here, Britt. So everybody turn your phone off.
Airplane mode is easy, and if you don't know how to do that, the power button actually works on your phone. Most of you probably have never turned your phone off intentionally. Yes?
I was going to take notes on my things. Do you have paper or should I look at
No, you can take notes digitally. You better make sure it's not making any beeps, boops, vibrates, dip, steps, up, and the other things. And anybody who's taking notes digitally, for those of you with your laptop open, the person sitting behind you or beside you, if they catch you in your email, on Facebook, any other website, the MLS, anything like that, that is like your phone going off because it means you are not here. Fair?
Yeah.
How many of you have ever been on a listing appointment? Would you answer your phone in the middle of it?
No.
You are at a class to learn how to get more. Why would you answer your phone in the middle of it? So, don't be distracted by it. Shut it off. Laptop people, hit the mute button on your laptop. She's got like 2 going over there. You are doubling your chances for donations. Just so you know. I see a phone, a tablet, a laptop. You're all over the place. Okay.
She's one of my coaches.
One of your coaches. Well, she'll still get fined when it goes deep. Believe me, I have had a team leader or 2 writing the check. Don't worry about it. Just because they're like, "Well, Chad, it's me." I'm like, "I don't care. You're in the room. That was the rules we set." She was here when we heard it. Liable for it as well. My phone is in airplane mode. I would write the check if my phone went off and someone caught me as well. So, there we go. That's 1. That's out of the way, ground rules. 2, there's no break on today's class. You need to go to the bathroom. Go. Okay, go quickly and come back. We will wait.
You mean
Okay,
like,
no, we won't
like
really
right
wait.
now?
Okay. We won't really be waiting. Just go, right? Because if I said break, then all of a sudden all of you would run and there would be a line of you in the bathroom, and that's just not going to work for us. We're only going to be here for about 2 hours. You can hold it. It's less than an Avengers movie. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you on the count of 3 to everybody turn to the camera Now, you can't all be seen on it, yet everybody turn to the camera on 3, and we're going to say, hi, Robin. Ready? Oh, there's one over here, too. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hi, Robin! Because apparently she's snowed in and watching. Right? God bless her for choosing Maine. And if you saw her Facebook post yesterday, it felt like 2.
Yes.
My wife actually looked at me and said, I don't even know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And that's why we're not moving back north here.
Yes.
So, there we go. My name is Chad. How many of you have ever taken a class with me before? Okay, so you have an idea what you're in for, and you are silly enough to come back. The rest of you are new to me. So let me tell you a little about who I am, why I am here, and how it's going to help you. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I've been with Keller Williams for now 19 years, started in the year 2000. That was even before the Red Book was written. Yes, there was a time before Gary wrote the book, just so you know, okay? So that was before the Red Book was written. I was in Las Vegas. I was a buyer's agent in Las Vegas. I was Rookie of the Year for the Southwest region. I did 75 families helped in my first year in business. Okay?
Say that again.
75 families helped my first year in business. I was Rookie of the Year for the Southwest region. Now, I was with a team at the time, and then I grew my business, grew their business, and I became a buyer's manager for them, and we ended up having a team of 5 buyer's agents that I ran and worked on for them. Then I decided it was time to leave that team, go to a different team. I wanted to see a different perspective so that when I built my team, I had a little bit of this, a little bit of that, what comes together. And I joined a team by the name of the Brinkus team. Now, if that name rings any bell to you, it means you've actually read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, because Rick and Terry were 2 of the agents in the original mastermind that helped Gary create the book. Terry Brinkus said to me the greatest thing I've ever heard in real estate. She said, Chad, you should never work with a buyer again. That's not your personality. Yes, listings it was. So Rick and Terry taught me how to be a listing agent, and then for the next 18 months, I listed anywhere from 25 to 45 homes every month for that year and a half. Okay? 25 to 45 homes every month for a year and a half. At that point, Terry then said to me, Chad, we need a new team leader because their team leader that we had in the market center left. So she asked me to be the interim team leader. Now, folks, I want to warn you, and I'm sorry I didn't warn you early enough. If someone ever comes to you and says, we need an interim team leader, the answer is no. Because sooner or later, they just drop the interim off, and then you are stuck. So you better know what you're getting into, right? Because they just drop that off, and then next thing you know, you're there. And it took me 4 years before I got out of that role. And the only way I did it was I moved to a little place called Bellingham, Washington. Now, is there anybody who geographically actually knows where Bellingham, Washington is? Why? You're shaking your head like yes. Why do you know that?
Because I love the state of Washington. It's a beautiful coastline.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Bellingham, Washington, folks. Let's see. There's like a yogurt place right over there, right? That would be Canada. Right? That's how close we were. We were the border. Dangerous Canadians. You gotta watch that. Jump on the border. We need a wall. That's what I'm thinking. If we had a wall, it would be so much better. Keep those Canadians out. It's okay, I'm from Canada. Okay, so we were up there. Now, if you've been with Keller Williams for more than probably an hour, can we agree you have heard the term Bellingham, Washington? Because this is agent by the name of Ben Kinney who's up there. Yep. Okay, and Ben is one of the top agents year after year after year, and he's built half the programs that you're probably using, paying for. Ben recruited me to be his team leader. I moved up to Bellingham, Washington, had the opportunity to watch his business grow as I was his team leader, became his general manager as he took over multiple market centers. We taught a program called IMSD, Internet Marketing Specialist Designation. We taught people how to use the internet to grow their business. We are the reason Craigslist works the way it does today. So if you are new, you don't know any better. If you've been in real estate a while and you remember when Craigslist actually worked really well, sorry, we broke it. We taught people how to use it so much that Craigslist changed the rules. Max came to me one day and said, hey, can you travel the country and teach that technology stuff? So I had the pleasure of traveling around, taught a class called Bold Tech. Ran around the country teaching that. I was here in Atlanta when Cheryl Sidoti, your regional director, stopped me and said, stay. Convinced my wife and I to stay in Atlanta, and for 4.5 years I was the growth and productivity director for the Southeast region, which is how many of you probably first knew me as I showed up here in the office. What it basically meant was I was the team leader's team leader for the Southeast region. It was my job to teach the team leaders how to be better team leaders and to help your productivity through them grow around the region. We grew this region, the first and only region to break 10,000 agents in a region. We grew, there was less than that in all of Keller Williams when I started. Yeah. Southeast region now has more than we had in Keller Williams when I started. able to grow the opportunity to where we are.
There were some late.
Oh, she's warning those of you who showed up to turn off your phone so you don't have to pay $100 when it goes off. Or your laptops. No, you can have it up, just make sure it's on quiet, and that you're not doing MLS and email at the same time, because they will find you for that. All right, so, as I was saying, had the opportunity to be here, Growth and Productivity Director for the Southeast region. After that, I left almost about 2 years ago now, and I joined forces with a gentleman named Cody Gibson. Cody is the founder of the United Home Group. We'll talk a little bit more about Cody in a minute, and I'll explain why. He's the founder of the United Home Group, and I became the Southeast Regional Expansion Director for the United Home Group. I have to keep reading that one. It's still too big. I don't understand why I can't just get that one. That's what I do now. Basically, I am running one of the largest teams in the country. We have a team of over 40 partners just in the Southeast region. We are over 200 plus partners all across the country. We're looking for great opportunities to help people. So if you think a team would be right for you, go talk to your leadership. And if you know somebody that you're bringing to Keller Williams, you think a team would help them grow their business, mention it to leadership, because we are looking for fantastic partners all across the country to continue growing. Across country. You can bring people from elsewhere, you know that, right? They don't have to join right here in Atlanta. Okay. So I tell you all of that to tell you this. I'm not saying, hey, look at me, I'm awesome. I'm saying whatever role you're in, been there, done that. Okay, whether it's on a team, independent, successful, failing, listings, buying, leadership, whatever it is, been there, done that. So the stuff I'm going to talk about today, and the stuff I'm going to talk about in all my classes anytime I show up, is the real stuff. Is that okay that I give you real stuff and don't pull out someone's book and just read it to you?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anything worse than reading a book about somebody telling you something that they never actually did? I won't mention who. There are a few of them that you've read, and you think they're awesome, and those people never did that stuff. Okay? And that stuff doesn't really work. They just sold you a book on fancy stuff. What I'm going to talk about today is going to be practical and an application that you can get moving forward on today. All right? Now, here's the one thing I didn't tell you about myself. I'm originally from the Northeast. You may have already caught it. So what that means, I talk fast. No, I'm not slowing down to Southern speed. You have to speed up to me. Okay? That. 2, there will be no y'alls today, so get comfortable with it. I'm not going to y'all. I'm also not going to fix to do anything. I'm just going to do things. I do not understand that. You're fixing to do something. Just do it! Don't fix to do it. Just do it. Okay? And sarcasm is a first language to me. Not a second language. It is a first language. I will offend someone today. I can almost guarantee it. Possibly make some of you cry. Okay? If you cry easily, now is the time to fake a phone call on your phone that's not on and leave. Okay, you all stayed. Your choice. Fair?
Fair.
You've been warned? You're not sure still. Oh, you don't care. You're like, bring it. Just bring it. Okay. All right, so here we are. We're going to do 7 steps to 10 listings in a month. Let me tell you a little bit about this class, then I'll tell you a little bit about the guy who created this class, and then we'll make it even better than that. So, 1, this class came from Family Reunion in Las Vegas?
Yes.
Is that where we were like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, wow, they just all blend into each other. So this was from Family Reunion a few years ago. Cody Gibson was asked to give this presentation. And Cody Gibson created this class and gave this presentation to a room of his 5,000 closest friends at Family Reunion. And the number 1 request he got after that for weeks and weeks and weeks was, can you come teach this class? My agent said it was fantastic, or they were there, and this and that and everything. And Cody said, there's no way I'm traveling the country to teach an 1.5 to 2 hour class. It's just not worth the time. So his regional directors, we get to teach it in our areas. So you get the benefit of this class. So it's based on Cody's experience. Now I'm going to tell you this. You get a bonus because it's Cody Gibson's 7 steps to 10 listings in a month, taught by Chad Hyams. So what that means is I've totally tweaked everything he said to make it even better.
Awesome.
If that's okay. Cody, you shouldn't be watching this. Okay. So that's 1. That's where this class came from. Now that was Family Reunion in Vegas. Did any of you attend Family Reunion in Vegas? Okay. Did any of you go to Cody's session on this in Family? Okay, so you're going to see it's way better. Okay. Now we've got Family Reunion coming up, New Orleans, right? How many of you are intending to go? What's wrong with the rest of you? I mean, it's literally a car ride.
Yeah.
Don't say it's too expensive. You can carpool and be there in like 6 hours. The way I drive. 8, the way some of you drive. Okay? Right? You sleep in the car. You don't even need to worry about that. Tickets are still on sale. Tickets are still available. You should still consider Family Reunion. It is the greatest networking event, and if you do the job right at Family Reunion, you will get more referrals income than it cost you to go. Okay? You will create those relationships with people. The fact that you're not going scares me. You should be considering it. If you can't go for one reason or another, you should have mega camp on your books now. You should be looking at it, or you should plan Family Reunion next year in Orlando. Somewhere. I don't know where. Probably Orlando. So, we're going to jump into this class that Cody built. Now, Cody then gave us permission to teach it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach it today. Now, up here, you've got this website. It says tinyurl.com/classwithchad. You don't have to go there now because your phones are off. Okay, yeah, you might want to write it down. And I'm going to tell you why, and then you decide if you want to go or not. Okay? It's completely up to you. At the end of class today, you can go. I'll give you till midnight tonight if you want to go. Because tomorrow morning I will get up. When I get up, I will open up my computer. I will grab the names of everybody who went to this website today, and I will send you a checklist for today's class that will help you track the 7 steps in your business. I will also invite you to a Facebook group that was created for the people who have attended 7 Steps to 10 Listings. I will also therefore send you to Cody Gibson, and he will start sending you opportunities that he is teaching, other things, webinars, things like that, so you can attend. And I will put you on my email mailing list for some of the things that I send out regularly. Like you may have seen, I just started a new series last week that I'm calling Life Spark, putting out some videos. I have an interview with Jay Papazan that will actually be going out on Thursday this week, so you would be on the list in time to get that. So if you want it, you just have to go to tinyurl.com/classwithchad before you go to sleep tonight at some point. Can ask you your name and your email. I don't need your social security number. I don't need to know where you've lived the last 7 years. I'm not looking at anything other than where do you want me to send stuff to you. Okay? So it's there if you want it. Now, you ready to get into today's class?
Yes.
Are there any questions before I get going on today's class? All of you late stragglers who came in, here is your warning. If your phone goes off, rings, vibrates, any of that, it's a $50 donation to KW Cares and a $50 donation to the person who snitches on you. If you are using technology to take your notes today and you are on any site other than note-taking site, like the MLS, your email, anything else, that is the same as your phone going off and your neighbors will snitch on you. It's worth $50 to them. Okay, that can go far sometimes. That might put gas in your car. Here we go. All right, so now I'm getting rid of the warning. You've been warned. There we go. Tiny URL for me. Let's get into this. I'm going to give you 7 steps to 10 listings in a month. 7? How many?
7.
Just checking. 7 steps. 1, you're going to go, duh, and then hate me for it. Okay? 2, you're going to be like, and you're going to have that hyperventilation moment. 3, 4, 5, and 6, you're going to be like, cool, those are fun. Hey, made me laugh. That's entertaining. And 7, you already know what 7 is, yet you're going to hate that I'm going to say it anyway. Yet if I did it as number 1, you'd get up and leave. So I'm going to save it for number 7. So here we go. Let's jump into it. Number 1. One appointment a day. Set 1 appointment a day. Set 1 appointment a day. Set
1 appointment a day.
1 appointment a day. Duh. Right?
Right.
Well, Chad, if I was doing 1 appointment a day, I wouldn't be in class today. I'd be doing just fine with my business. Here's the thing. You don't even have the mindset to set 1 appointment a day. I told you I was going to be honest and hurt your feelings, right? You don't have the mindset to set 1 appointment a day. What you don't understand is this is your job. This is your job. How many of you in the room, by show of hands, have ever had a job? Someone handed you a paycheck, you went somewhere and you did some job, okay? You've had a job. Someone tell me some of the expectations that were demanded of you at that job. Tell me one. Yes?
Show up on time.
Show up on time. Now let me ask you a little more detail on that. Did you decide when on time was?
No,
Who did?
your boss.
Okay, so show up when your boss said be there. Okay, what was another expectation of you if you've ever had a job? Yes?
Stay till the end of the day.
Stay until you're done. When was that? Whenever you wanted to leave?
No, when school was over.
When school was over. So you were a teacher.
I was.
Okay, so did you decide when school was over?
Unfortunately, no.
No, because you would have ended class at lunchtime probably, right? Yeah, we're out. Good. Okay. No, it's show up when the boss says, leave when the boss says. Okay. What were some of the other expectations of you at your job? Yes.
Dress how the boss told you to dress.
Dress code. Yes, you had a dress code. Many of you were actually looking at me going, wow, he used to be in a suit all the time. Look, he's in jeans. That's because Gary Keller changed the dress code. We're a tech company now. Tech people don't wear suits. Ta-da! Cody still looks at me funny and I say, no, Gary said, I can wear this now. All right. So we had to show up on time, we had to stay until we were allowed to leave, we had to dress a certain way. What else at your job? Yes?
Hit your numbers.
Hit your numbers, whatever they were. Your number might be 2 minutes on the fryer, right? Because that's when the fries had to come out. Yet you had to hit your numbers, didn't you? Okay? What else? What else? Show up on time, stay a certain time, dress a certain way, hit your numbers.
Counting the money in the tills.
Count the money in the tills. Yes, any of you ever work at a bank? Okay, I worked at a bank. There was nothing more stressful than the end of your shift at the bank going, oh, please say I didn't give like 2 extra tens away by mistake, right? You're going count, count, count. Oh, thank God I made it, okay? Nothing's worse than counting that money and making sure you had all the money you were responsible for or that it matched what the cash register said was supposed to be there at the end of the day. What were some of the other expectations? Yes?
Do your job.
Do your job. Do your job. Yes?
Take more than 35 calls a day.
Okay, so at your job it was take more than 35 calls a day. Okay.
Meet your deadlines.
Meet your deadlines. Yes. Yes.
Have the right attitude.
Attitude. Yes. Anything else? Any of you work at Chick-fil-A? How do you live in the South and not have a job at Chick-fil-A at some point? What were the last 2 words every Chick-fil-A employee is supposed to say?
My pleasure.
My pleasure. So did they have to say certain things?
Yes.
Yes. Had to say certain things, didn't you?
Scripts.
Okay. Yes, scripts. They have scripts. Do you know why they teach them to say my pleasure? Anybody know why they teach them to say my pleasure?
So they don't say not my, or what is it? No problem.
So they don't say no problem?
Nope.
That might be one reason, yet it's not the reason.
So it sounds like they're getting something out of giving you service.
Okay, everybody say my pleasure. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
My pleasure.
What that means, you've just told your brain you are enjoying sitting here having me talk to you. If you keep saying that enough times, you'll never miss a Chad class. Because you're like, I really like going to those. It's my pleasure. Wow, it's awesome. Right? Nurses are taught to say the same thing. Because can you agree that half the things that they do probably aren't that enjoyable? Yet they're taught to say my pleasure to teach their brains that they actually enjoy doing that for the people. You see, let's be really, really clear. There's very little difference truly behind McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. Yet don't the people at Chick-fil-A just seem happier?
Always.
Why? Because they keep saying that they're happier.
Make more.
They keep saying, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. Hey, I really like my job, right? Okay. So we had certain things we had to say. We had to show up on a certain time. We couldn't just leave whenever we wanted to. We had to hit our numbers, make a certain number of calls, whatever that was for us. We had to dress a certain way. We had to hit deadlines. We had to do certain things. We had to say certain things. Folks, how many of you here are real estate agents? Just checking. Who do you work for? Okay, so be the boss for a second. If you had to pay yourself, how many of you would have fired yourself by now? You're all lying. You all know that you would probably have fired yourself by now if you were actually writing a check every other week to pay yourself. You see, real estate agents, we don't pay ourselves. We get paid for something we did 3 to 6 months ago, finally. I don't understand. Someone comes up to me and I'm like, tell me something great. I have a closing today. I'm like, so what? That was something you did like 6 months ago. What have you done lately? Right? You're like, but I get paid. I'm like, great. That's from work you did back then. That's the problem with real estate, right? We get paid now on work we did then, which does not motivate us to do work for tomorrow. Imagine if you actually got paid every day to just come in and do your job. How much bigger your business might be. Imagine if at the end of every day, you got paid only if you set an appointment. If you didn't set an appointment, you didn't get paid. And when that next closing check comes in, you didn't get to keep it because you didn't earn it because you didn't keep doing your job every day. How many of you would have fired yourself? Right. Thank you for admitting it. Folks, it's one appointment a day. That's it. It's the mindset that goes with one appointment a day. You have to be prepared to say, I won't go home tonight if I don't set an appointment. Now, that's not an excuse to not take care of your kids. Right? You can't be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to set an appointment today. This will be awesome. I'll sleep at the office tonight. They have a bathroom there. I'm good. You deal with the kids. Right? Not what I'm talking about. It's the mindset you have to have. You have to come in today and say, I have a start time. Not, I will show up when I feel like it time. I have to get to work. Not, I will show up and talk to everybody when I get there before I finally do something. You have numbers to hit while you're here. You have a job to do. If you don't set an appointment today, is it possible that even if you have that right mindset, you still don't set an appointment today?
Yes.
Okay. What do you have to do tomorrow?
2.
Set 2. You have to come in and say, there's no way I'm getting behind on that. Now, today is Tuesday. Thank you. I'm totally messed up. Okay? Tomorrow is Wednesday. If you don't get one today, you got to get 2 tomorrow. Yeah, what happens if Wednesday comes and you still don't set 1? What does that mean for Thursday?
3.
No, that's not the right mindset. You don't leave. You see, because here's what most of you do. You say, oh, Thursday I'll get 3. Oh, dang, Friday I'll just get 4. Oh, Monday I'll get 5. I'll get caught up one of these days. And then you're at number like 27 and you set 1 appointment and you go, yes, I'm the greatest. And then you drop all the other 26 that you skipped. And you start over. 1 a day, 1 a day, 1 a day. You miss today, you better get 1 tomorrow. You better make sure that number never goes over 2. Let's do some math. Let's do some math. Let's talk about the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. How many of you have actually read the Red Book? Excellent. How many of you have read it more than once? More than twice? All right. How many of you have intended to read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Red Book? Okay. More than once? More than twice? If you've never heard me tell you this before, I will tell you now why you have trouble reading the Red Book. Because a lot of people do, so don't feel badly. You have trouble reading the Red Book because it's not a novel. And what you're doing is you're reading it front to back. Let me tell you, I'll skip to the end, I'll tell you how it ends. You win. Yay. Okay? It's not a novel, it's the Bible. I don't say this in light of making fun of anything. It has been referred to again and again and again as the real estate Bible. How do you read the Bible? Do you read it from there was light to there's no more light? No. How do you read the Bible?
Jump around.
You jump around. Right? The pastor says we're going to do this book now, and then you just randomly open to that page and say, oh, God must want me to read this, right? And you end up, stop reading the Millionaire Real Estate Agent from cover to cover. You're not getting anywhere. How many of you have a team that is successful? Okay, you probably don't need the lead generation model. You probably figured that out by now. How many of you are less than 6 months in the business? You don't need the organizational model yet. You're not building a team tomorrow. Focus on the other stuff that you need to worry about. How many of you don't do a budget? Come on. Then don't read the section on budgeting because you're not going to do it anyway. Just skip. That's how you read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Now, in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, Gary Keller gives us conversion rates. Now, I want you to know these numbers are not made up. Gary doesn't pull them out of the air. The numbers were done from the research of all the people who helped write the book. They interviewed thousands of realtors that were top-level realtors to get their numbers put together. And what Gary tells us in there is if you went on 10 listing appointments, what percentage of them would you obtain?
7.
8?
Excellent! You read the book. She just guessed right. Okay, 80% of all listing appointments you go on, you should earn. What that means is of every 10 listing appointments you go on, you'll get 8. There's 1 you didn't earn, and there's 1 you didn't want. Okay, let me be very clear on that. There's 1 you didn't earn, That means their sisters, cousins, brothers, nephews, next door neighbors, ex-girlfriend is a realtor, so you just couldn't overcome that one. Then there's one you didn't want. We're going to stop and talk about this for a second. Give me the reason, and there is only one, in my opinion. Remember, I'm going to hurt someone's feelings and make you cry. I'm not the nice instructor. I'm the one who brings it. There is only one answer, in my opinion, as to the reason you would not take a listing. What is it? You sure? You put your hand up.
Unrealistic seller.
Price.
No.
Motivation.
No.
A seller that you don't vibe with, you can't get on the same page with them.
No.
You're gonna-
Unethical stuff?
Okay, I'll put that into the category.
Emotional attachment.
No. Emotion's easy to overcome.
Your own ego.
My own ego? No. No. There's only one reason.
Not sellable.
They are a psychopath. Ladies, have you ever gone on a listing appointment and that guy just gives you the creeps?
Yeah.
Then don't take it.
Yeah.
Guys, have you ever gone on a listing appointment and that guy gives you the creeps? Don't take it. Everything else is overcomable. Here's the thing. Many of you were thinking it's the price. Unrealistic sell, right? We're thinking the price in that category. Folks, let me ask you this. If you don't take the listing, will someone else?
Yes.
Okay. What is the purpose of a listing? No, it's not to sell it. The purpose of a listing is not to sell it. What's the purpose of a listing? Get more leads. The purpose of a listing is to get more leads, not sell it. Now, whose purpose is it to sell? The sellers. They want their listing sold, don't care if you earn a single other lead off it. Your purpose of taking that listing is to get other listings. Okay? Now you used the correct wording, I want you to know, right? There's no such thing as an overpriced listing, it's an unrealistic seller. So you use the absolute right wording by saying unrealistic seller. There are many unrealistic sellers, can we agree?
Yes.
Which way is the market going right now, up or down? And aren't they thinking they should still get more than their house next door neighbor just got? Yeah. So they're completely unrealistic about it. Yet is there an agent at another brokerage a little less ethical than you that will take their listing no matter what?
Sure.
Why is their sign in the yard and not yours? Because you thought they were unrealistic or overpriced. You just have to be honest and have integrity. And say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, based on the numbers, it looks like we're probably going to get this, and you're asking for that. I'm going to give you your shot at it, yet we might be having a conversation about price corrections. Don't lie to them and say, I'll get it for you. Just understand, if you don't take it, someone else will. And you're going to lose because they outbid you. The only reason to not take one is that seller creeps you out. Not that they're too emotional. Emotional you can overcome. Not that they're too clingy. You can overcome that. Not over that this, not that. Nope. Just that they creep you out. Right? Even a hoarder's house is sellable. Even the worst location in town, sellable.
Yep.
Because price will sell anything. You find a crappy 9-acre piece of land that's not too far out, you can be sure some developer will buy it up off you no matter what. Put it at the right price. Because they'll just come in and tear down the house that was there. Say, we don't care. Rebuild. Heck, my wife will buy it just so we don't have to have neighbors. And that's probably because she's protecting them from me, as you're learning as we go through this. Okay, so 10 listing appointments we go on. How many do we earn? 8. Okay, now listen to this. Gary tells us, the numbers prove, that of all the listings that we take, what percentage of them will sell? Who just said it? Say it again. 60% of them will sell. So I'm going to use stupid easy math. Can we just say that's 2 out of every 3?
Yes.
Right, that would be 66%. So folks, do you realize that 1 out of every 3 listings you take is not going to sell anyway? Don't worry about the fact that they were unrealistic and wanted too much money. Let them be the one that doesn't sell. Say, hey, yours isn't going to sell. You just sold these 2 people. Thank you. Right? Done. You see, we all think the listings are to sell. No, the listings are to get more business. 1 out of 3 isn't going to sell anyway. Now, have you ever taken a listing, worked the listing expires, or they cancel the listing, and then the next day they list with another realtor and the house sells? Right? Isn't that aggravating?
Yep.
Yet it's going to happen. Why? Who knows why? Fresh number in the MLS, it popped to the top of the screen, they had one better picture that caught someone's eye, they did better remarks. Who knows, the seller repriced it at the price you were telling them the whole time you should have been at anyway, right? And now all of a sudden, boom, it gets sold with someone else. Folks, it's going to happen. 1 out of every 3 that you have will not sell under this contract. Doesn't mean it'll never sell, it just means it'll never sell under this contract. Might sell with you when you relist them because that's a new listing. Okay, so come back now and let's all do easy math because our phones are off, so we can't use the calculator stuff. So, I go on 10 listing appointments. How many do I get? 8. I take 8 listings. How many will sell? 5. Thank you. Yes. Can we agree that that's approximate?
Yeah.
That if I went on 10, I'll get 8, and of the 8, 5 will sell.
Yeah.
5 is what percentage of 10?
50.
That's easy, right? We can do 50% of almost anything, yes?
Yes.
Okay. How many business days are there in a calendar year approximately? Who knows?
In a calendar.
250 days. There's approximately 250 business days in the calendar every year. Okay? Weekends off, holidays here and there. There's 250 days. Folks, watch this. How many appointments are we supposed to set every day? 1. If you set an appointment every business day of the year, how many appointments would you set? 250. Now let's just skip right to the end. You already told me that 50% of the 10 would end up selling. So, if you took 250 listing appointments, how many would you sell by the end of the year?
125.
125. This is not counting any of those that go and buy another house. This is not counting any buyers that call you off the site. This is not counting anything else. This is just those listings. Now, 125, that math is difficult for me. Let's pull it down to 100. It's a much easier number to do math on. Okay? What is your average sales price? 250, 300, I'm hearing. So can we agree, without doing any price fixing, that a commission earned in this market center is probably $7,500 to $9,000? Is that approximate? Let's take 8,000. It's kind of in the middle-ish there. What's $8,000 times 100? $800,000. If you took 1 appointment a day, you would make $800,000. How many of you made $800,000 or more last year? How many of you would like to make $800,000 this year? How many of you aren't even greedy? You'd settle for $400,000. That's it. You don't come in with this attitude, and that's why you don't make that money. Get it? Heck, let's just make it easier. 7 steps to 10 listings in a month. Let's go on 10 listing appointments in a month. How many did I sell that month then?
5.
5, right? Everybody remembers that math. If I sold 5 in a month, how many months are there in a year?
12.
How many did I sell? 60 times $8,000 is going to be confusing on the math for me.
200.
It's going to be 480,000 or something like that, right? I don't do well on my 6, 7s, and 8s multiplication table. Is that $480,000? How many of you would be okay with $480,000? Folks, that's just 10 appointments a month. That's not even going on 1 a day. Now you have to know your scripts well enough to convert at those numbers that the mega agents are converting at. Yet you have to have the mindset, more importantly, to just set 1 appointment a day. Because even if you just started here, you'd get better at everything else. Can you agree?
Yes.
If you kept going on them and not getting them, would you sooner or later learn how to get them?
Yes.
You don't do this. We are looking to create a very powerful word by having you do 1 a day. And that word is a habit. We're looking to create a powerful habit. How many days does it take to create a habit? 66 days to create a habit. Go read the one thing. If you did not know that, that means you don't know the research and the information that comes with it. It actually takes 18 to 256 days. 66 days is the easiest point it's ever going to be, so they consider it at 66 days to create a habit. How many of you at one point in your life believed it was 21 days? Right, you were a third of the way there. That's why that's not a habit anymore. Because you were not there yet when you stopped doing it and said, oh, awesome, I went to the gym for 21 days. That's a habit now. And now, when was the last time you went to the gym? Okay?
21 days.
Yeah. Starting a new habit, keep going. Okay, it is actually, isn't today the 21st? So for those of you who did that stupid resolution thing, you didn't do a resolution, if you're still going, you're working on a habit, don't stop. That's why 78% of all resolutions fail before January is over.
Yeah.
Because right around today, people have already stopped doing what it is and think it's habit, and they'll look up in a week and they won't be doing it anymore. Folks, it's your job. Let me say it one more time. It's your job. If you got into this business because you like looking at houses, you're in the wrong job. If you got into this business because you think you're great with people, you got into the wrong job. Most of you would not have gotten into the job if someone told you the job was to find people to have an appointment with once a day. You would have been like, oh, that sounds hard. Oh, I want to be a dentist. I like working with teeth. No, you got to find clients. All right? How do most dentists actually succeed? They buy somebody else's business. Right? They find another dentist, they work with that dentist retires, they take over their book of business, and they just keep going. Because they like teeth. They don't want to actually go find clients.
That's fair.
You like houses. You don't want to actually go find clients. Join a team. Plan to take it over one day when you get good enough at it. 2. What did I tell you about number 1? I said you were going to say what? Duh. Set 1 appointment a day. What did I tell you about number 2? You're not going to like this one. 1 FSBO or expired door every day. Go knock 1 for sale by owner or expired door every single day. I have gone with agents door knocking through neighborhoods before, and they have skipped the for sale by owner. I said, what are you doing? He said, well, they have a sign already. I was like, go get a job. Go get a job. Folks, for some reason, so many of you are scared to knock on the doors that are screaming for help. Let's talk about for sale by owners. They wake up in the morning, decide they're going to sell their house. Go to Home Depot to buy the sign. Right? You with me so far? Mm-hmm. They come back from Home Depot, they put the sign in their yard, and by putting that for sale by owner sign in the yard, what have they said to every real estate agent in the world? No, they've actually said go away. Right? They don't realize they've said call me. They put a sign in their yard that says go away, I don't need you. Now, I have said this every time I've taught this class, and sooner or later someone's going to take me up on this one and make this one happen. Where did they go to buy the for sale by owner sign?
Home Depot.
Why aren't you selling them? What if they had to come to you to get the for sale by owner sign to start? Wouldn't you be a step ahead of everybody? Okay. So, here's what. We need to knock on a for sale by owner's door every single day. How many of you drove here today? How many of you have driven here before? How many of you will drive here again? And I know the answer to this. How many of you came the exact same way? Start getting lost. You see, you drive here the exact same way. You drive to your gym the exact same way. You drive to the grocery store the exact same way. You drive your kids to school the exact same way. You drive to mom's house the exact same way. And all you're doing is missing opportunities of for sale by owner signs because you are driving the exact same way and you've seen the 2 signs that are on that path. Do you know there's a for sale by owner within 2 blocks of you right now that does not know how to use Zillow to list their own for sale by owner, so no realtor knows they exist? And nobody's going to see the house because they don't know it's even out there. And they're wondering why 6 months later no one's even come by their house to sell it. And if you showed up as a realtor, they'd probably fall down and say, yes, help. Yet you drive the same way every day and you've never seen it. The greatest app on your phone is Waze. You'll never get lost. Drive around, and once you're done, push the button that says home. She'll get you back to where you need to go. Now here's what I did when I got to a for sale by owner. I had a package that I kept in my car. I will tell you what's in the package. No, I can't give you a copy of the package. No, I don't have the letter anymore that goes with the package. You'll have to create your own, and no, I'm not going to do it slowly. You're going to have to just kind of quickly take some notes and then go. I gave them a package. The first thing I did was I printed every disclosure in the MLS available. All of them. It did not matter that the home was built in 1994. They still had the lead-based paint disclosure in there. Because I didn't know which for sale by owner I was going to find. So I always had the packet ready to go. Now, are you allowed to give away sample forms from the MLS? No. So you have to put sample across it. So go get a stamp that says sample, or print through your printer that says sample over top of it. And now take every disclosure, even if it's not applicable. Why? Because they're scary as crap. And that's the point. We're looking to scare them. And put them all together in this one big packet. And then put a cover letter over it that says something along the lines of, hi, my name is Chad, and I wanted to let you know that these disclosures included in here might be every disclosure you might need during your transaction. Did you know that 74% of all real estate lawsuits occur with a for sale by owner because they did not know the paperwork needed? If you'd like to be protected, contact me. Then it has my unique value proposition below it. Like why they would contact me. How many of you in the room have a unique value proposition? How many of you in the room have no idea what a unique value proposition even would look like, sound like, or you even had ever heard the term before? Okay, folks, here it is, simple English. Why you, not me? Why you, not me? Do you hear how I word it? Why you, not me? Not badmouth me so they have to pick you. Okay, this is how it would be nice if all of our presidential elections ran this way. Right? Why me, not the other person? Not, oh, I'm scaring you about the other person so that you have to choose me. I'm the less scary disaster. Right? Can we agree that our last election, without getting political at all, was not picking the right president, it was picking the less wrong president?
Yes.
Right? All he did was scare us that we don't want her running the country, and all she did was say, why the heck would you want that guy running the country? And all they did was scare us about each other, and we just picked that he would be the safer because she's psychopathic. Right? Or whatever you decide. Okay. So, there you go. Stop doing that as a real estate agent. Stop putting anybody else down. It's why you, not me. If you don't have a unique value proposition, you better go write a unique value proposition. I would have 2 or 3 paragraphs in it. Keller Williams would be paragraph number 1, because if you're competing against somebody from, let's just say, RE/MAX, is the fact that you're with Keller Williams an advantage? Yeah, number 1 broker in the country, number 1 training organization in the world. Right? Why would you work with a realtor that does not come from this lineage? Then again, might you go up against another Keller Williams agent? So can you use that against them? No. Right? Jennifer Barnes shows up on the listing appointment. She can tell she's from Keller Williams too. And heck, I've been there longer than you. So, hey, no. You got to now say, okay, forget that part. Why me? How many of you are less than 6 months in the business? Great. What's one thing you have that nobody else, that the other agents don't have?
Time.
Time. That better be part of your value proposition right now. All right? I have the time to answer your calls instead of telling you that I have way too many listings to deal with. People who have been in the business a while, what's one of the things you've got? Experience. All right, so that's my packet, right? All the disclosures, scary cover letter, why me? I make 5 or 6 of these packets at a time. I keep them in my car. I should probably have at least 5 in my car because I'm going to knock how many? 1 every day, which is going to be at least 5 that week. When I find a for sale by owner, I pull up to the house. I get as close to the front door as I can, whether that means driveway or street. I keep my car running. I turn my radio louder. Leave the door open or window down so that the noise is coming from my car. It's very clear my car is running, and I walk up to the door. Side note, what's that called? Knocking. It's not called doorbelling. It's called door knocking. Stop pushing the little button and then just standing there. You have a personality, knock with it.
Okay.
Otherwise they'd call it doorbelling. Hey, I'm going doorbelling today. No, we say I'm going door knocking. And then we push a button. That's not knocking. That's belling. Okay. Right? I knock. One of two things will happen. Option one is what? No one answers. Okay, we went that way. Option two is someone answers. Right? There's no third option. Okay. So let's go with somebody answers first. Somebody answers the door. Now here's what most realtors do. We stick our foot in like the vacuum salesman of old so that they can't close the door on us, and then we tell them why we're the most amazing realtor in the world and they should let us in the house so we can be pushy. We've done nothing for them yet. Why do we deserve that right? I, having my car running, they hear it, hand them the packet. My name's Chad with Keller Williams Realty. I'm on my way to an appointment. I'll call you later. I just wanted to give you that because I give that to all for sale by owners. I hope it helps. Have a fantastic day. Good luck with the sale of your home. Gone. Now, that appointment might be I'm on my way to an appointment. Have you ever driven by a for sale by owner on your way to a listing? Yep. Sure. Or picking up a buyer. Or looking at a house. Sure. That appointment might be picking up my kid at school. That appointment might be I gotta pee really bad. Yeah, I have an appointment I'm going to.
Yes.
Not, oh, why don't you come in and look at the house? No, I'm on my way to
An
an
appointment.
appointment. I'm bringing value. I'm not pushy and expecting to get in the house as I knock the door and thinking they should magically list with me. They don't know who I am. Now, here is a very important question. I told them I would do what? Call them later, which to me meant tomorrow. Okay? If you don't know the answer to this question, just get a job. Save the fees real estate will cost you. How do I get their phone number? Because I didn't ask them for it.
On the sign.
Okay, it's on the sign. Good. Right? For sale by owners, put their phone number out and say, here's my number, world. Okay? And then someone actually says, oh, they're on the do not call list. Really? Yeah. It's on the street corner. For a good time, call. No, she's on the do not call list. I can't call her. No, folks. You call them the next day. Hi, my name was Chad. I stopped by. I gave you that package. Did you get a chance to look through it? Script, depending what the conversation deems at that point. Okay. That was the option that they answered the door. What was the other option?
They don't answer.
They don't answer the door. Okay, now, your name, good sir?
John.
John, I like you. You're very distinguished. I like the hair. I wish I had it, right? It still looks nice, all that. No! Okay, John said, leave the package anyway. No, they don't deserve my package. I have two options. Option one, which I never chose, was go back later. Okay, the only reason I would ever choose option one was it literally was around the corner and I was passing it like tomorrow again. I might say, okay, I'll give him a shot again tomorrow at a different time. Option two, please remember, how many of you were here for my introduction at the beginning? Where am I from originally? Northeast. So I'm mean, right? I'm not nice like you guys as you're catching on. Some of you are going to be like, when I tell you option two. Some of you are going to be like, oh, drop the mic, that's for me. Okay? I picked up the phone to call the for sale by owner as I was driving away from the house. Where'd I get their phone number?
On the sign.
On the sign, very good. I called the for sale by owner as I was driving away. I said, hey, my name is Chad. I'm with the United Home Group at Keller Williams Realty. I was just in the neighborhood. I knocked on your door because I wanted to preview it for a buyer. You weren't home. Let me ask you, how do you intend to sell your home when you're never there?
I dropped the mic.
Okay? Some of you are going, that's so mean. And some of you are like, ooh, I want to call somebody. Right? What's the worst thing that happens?
Never.
They hang up on me because they think I'm mean? Folks, I could call them back 2 days later. They would not know they ever talked to me. Hi, my name is Chad from Keller Williams. I'm just following up. I see you have your home on the market. They're not going to be like, you were that jerk 2 days ago. They're going to have forgotten me completely.
And if they are,
I don't know, they might remember that.
I will tell you, more often than not, the answer I got from them was, well, I work during the day. I said, do you know buyers want to see houses during the day?
Ooh.
I can arrange getting them in and keeping your house safe. Let's talk. Who wants to make appointments to see houses? How many of you, honestly, when you're looking at listings to go show your buyer, will choose the vacant one over the one that has somebody that lives there?
Yep.
Just because it's easier to get into.
Yep.
And you will choose the one that has somebody that lives there over the one you have to schedule an appointment with all day long.
All day.
Knock on their doors. At least one a day. Now, we're January 21st. I really don't know. Okay, January 22nd? 3rd? We'll just figure it out later. This is not being recorded. It's one of those days. Okay. So, here we go. It's January 20. And that means, for the last 2 weeks, what has every realtor been doing?
Expires.
Calling expireds. And that means within about 3 days, what will every realtor stop doing? Calling expireds, because they haven't gotten any results yet. So they're like, that expired thing doesn't work, and they're going to give up. Right? They all start January going, yay, expireds, right? I don't know why, just because so many expire on December 31st. Folks, why would you have your listing ever expire on December 31st? Why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Because you know you're just saying to everybody, hey, look, you're going to get 1,000 calls from expireds. Go for it if you don't sell with me. Why don't you expire it December 27th when no one's working, which gives you 4 days to convince them to list with you again? Stop writing contracts that expire. You don't have to expire something on the 31st of a month.
Yeah.
That's just foolish.
Yeah.
Same thing with your closings. Why do you close at the end of the month? Foolish. Lenders and closing attorneys are busy those days, and you know you get bumped. Why don't you close on the 20th of every month? No one's working those days. They're all waiting for a closing to happen. Side note. All right. Everyone's calling expireds. You know what nobody's doing? Knocking on their door. Could you go to the MLS right now? You can't. Yet could you go to the MLS right now? Find an expired between here and your way home today. Yeah. What do most expireds do after about the first 15 minutes of the business day they've been expired?
Stop answering their phone.
Stop answering their phone because they realize it's just going to be realtors all day long calling them. Nobody's knocking on their door. Why not show up, knock on their door, and say, hi, my name's Chad with the United Home Group of Keller Williams Realty. I know your phone's probably been ringing off the hook today and it's driving you nuts. Let me ask you, though, how many realtors actually have shown up to be here for you today? Yeah?
Sorry, what are you bringing them?
Nothing. Me. Great question. Nothing. They don't need anything.
I like flowers. 'Cause then
Flowers because there's a death? Yeah, they might be, what do you bring to a funeral, right? Like dead daisies or something here, right? No, I'm just going to show up. I'm going to knock on their door. Phone been ringing off the hook all day? I can make that stop. Now, if you don't know how to make the ringing stop, go ask somebody. Take the listing. Okay? Say to them. Next time you answer the phone for a realtor, ask them what color the flowers are here in the front of your house. You will get the appointment. They will remember you for showing up. The whole goal, knock one FSBO or one expired every day because we are helping you create what? Habits. It's not knock 5 on Friday. One a day, one a day, one a day, one a day, yes.
How do you approach the vacant expireds?
Well, those I have to mail. They don't count as them knock. I can't. I'm going to mail it either to the property or I'm going to go look on the tax records, find their actual address, mail it to them there. If I find out that they own the property and they live in the area, I might go show up at their address and knock and they'll be like, how'd you find me here? I go, it's public records. You own that house over there that expired and I sure no realtor's finding you. I am. Don't you want a realtor that diligent to represent you too?
Solid.
Right? How many of you just went, ooh, that was good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because I know my
Job.
scripts. Knock, knock, knock. One a day. Get into the habit. Someone asked me the other day the best day of the year to knock. Do you know what the best day of the year to knock? Can you name the 3 best days of the year to knock?
Thanksgiving.
Today, yesterday, day. Well, you can't go knock back then.
Well, tomorrow.
Okay? No, not today, tomorrow, and the day after that.
New Year's Day?
It's not New Year's Day, it's not Thanksgiving, it's not Christmas, it's not their birthday, it's not your birthday, it's none of those days. It's the hottest, it is the coldest, and it is the wettest.
Because they feel bad for you. You don't want to go.
They remember you, because no one else is showing up. One of the agents that's in the Roswell office, long story, I won't get into his story right now. Yet he had a challenge, he had to get me 2 listings within 2 weeks, okay? Now this was a few years ago. Anybody live here during Snowmageddon?
Yes.
He got the 2 listings that day because he went knocking because everybody was home
Yeah.
and nobody wanted to live in Atlanta anymore. That's it. I'm moving farther south. List my house. He got 2 listings one day because he went knocking at Snowmageddon. What did the rest of you do during Snowmageddon? Don't lie. What'd you do?
Curled up on Netflix.
Netflix, had a bottle of wine, 3 kids in the snow out back, slept in, stayed in my pajamas all day. You know what? You can make calls from your pajamas all day. Does not matter. You didn't. You took the snow day and said, I don't work today. Because you don't look at it as a job. Earn the right to take that day off. Okay, number 3. This is why you show up. It's way more fun in person. And I'm going to turn you off before I give them number 7. They came and they asked me today, they said, can we live stream it? Okay? Here's what I said. I said, if the classroom is full, you can live stream it because there's going to be people who couldn't get here, can't get here, or there wasn't room in the class. It's the NFL rule. I call it the blackout policy, right? If you don't fill it, I don't put it on the air. Every one of you needs to thank every one of them because they're the only reason you're able to watch this class today. When you see my name on the calendar, don't just say, oh, I can stay home and watch that one. It ain't going to happen. Unless you're sure every one of your friends is showing up here to make the classroom full. We are here to learn. They're just lucky enough to be able to play along. Everybody wave. Number 3. Follow up Wednesday. One of those words does not matter as much as the other 2. Which one?
Wednesday.
The Wednesday does not matter as much, yet it must be a consistent day of your choice. Stop following up Tuesday, today, Thursday, next week, Friday, the week after that, skip the week, get back to Saturdays, whatever it is. Pick a day, make it follow up.
Why didn't you choose Monday?
Why didn't I choose Monday? Because Cody Gibson built the class.
Oh.
I'll tell you why he chose Wednesday.
Okay.
He chose Wednesday because Mondays and Tuesdays he did his hardest lead generation. He came in from the weekend, fired up, he had the energy, he went after his for sale by owners, he went after his expired, he went after those internet leads, he went after the hardest lead generation. Wednesday he stopped and he did all follow-up. Thursday and Friday he dealt with his sphere. Because he was out of energy, he was fading, yet who should be the easiest people to deal with? The sphere. How many of you would call a FISBO before a sphere member? The rest of you are lying. I know you're lying. You will call expireds and for sale by owners and internet leads way quicker than you will call the people who you know. Because you think you are bothering them. Okay? Right now, do not answer out loud. Right now, think of the worst realtor you know. Okay, everybody got a name?
Yeah.
Don't say it. You got a name though, right?
Yeah.
If you don't lead generate your sphere, do you believe that person might? And do you believe you're going to find out one day that your high school best friend, your next door neighbor, you're this, you're that, the parents of the best friend of your kid in school, whoever that sphere member is, listed with that other realtor? How are you going to feel about that? It's your fault because you did them a disservice by not reminding them you were there for them. Just because his face is on billboards all over town doesn't mean you want your family and friends working with him. I love him. He is an amazing person. He does not give the service you would give those people. He's Costco. You're Nordstrom's. Hi, Mark. Okay. Follow up Wednesday. Pick a day, follow up. Pick a day, follow up. Pick a day,
Follow up.
follow up. If you want it to be Monday, be Monday. Start your week, make that your follow-up day. Great. What day's your team meeting? Obviously it's Wednesday, that's tomorrow. If that's not good for you because team meeting's right in the way, pick another day of the week. Just be consistent. That's when you do your follow-up. When you finish any conversation with someone, you say to them, I'll follow up next week with you to see if you have any new real estate needs. When you call them next week, how do you open the conversation?
I'm following up.
Hey, I'm just following up. Just following up. I'll follow up again next week. Hey, I'm just.
Following up.
I'll follow up again.
Next week.
Hey, I'm just.
Following up.
You getting it? It's so easy. And so many of you don't know how to do it. Folks, if I asked you to give me 2 minutes to make a follow-up call, can you agree that it takes less than 2 minutes to pick up the phone, dial a number, say, hey, just following up from last week, see if you had any real estate needs? No? Great. I'll follow up again with you next week. Click. Can we agree that that would not take 2 minutes? Let's say it takes 2 minutes. If I asked you to do that every week, how many minutes would that be a month?
How many times, how many people?
Just pick one. I'm just saying for one person. I'm asking you to do 2 minutes.
4, 8 days.
It's 8 minutes a month.
Oh,
Okay? If I ask you to do that over the course of the year, you haven't even put an hour and a half into that. If I told you to put an hour and a half into that, and somebody would then at the end of the year say, hey, can you come list me? No contest. It's you got the listing. How many of you would put that hour and a half in every day?
hey.
Okay? Charlie Kimberly, member of our team. He's our FSBO expert on our team. Charlie called a for sale by owner. The guy said to him, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to any of your realtors. I don't need you. You're all idiots. That was basically the short version. Have we all heard that?
Yeah.
Met that person, right?
Yeah.
Click. Okay. Next week, Charlie calls him again. Just following up. Told you I don't need a realtor. Go away. Click. Just following up. Look, stop calling me. I don't need you. I'll follow up again next week. Next week, the guy didn't answer. Next week, he answered again. Answered. After about 4 months, the guy actually said to Charlie, look, I've taken the home off the market. I'm not moving anymore. Not playing any game. I'm just not moving anymore. I don't know if it was job or relationship or whatever it was for the move. Said, I'm not moving. I'm taking the house off the market. How did Charlie respond? I'll follow up next week, see if you or anybody in your family has any real estate needs you need. For the next 8 months, Charlie followed up with the guy. Call or text, call or text, call or text. And you can't text back-to-back weeks. So you could text every now and then, yet you can't. You could call, text, call, text, call, text. Nope, that didn't work there. Okay? So Charlie did this every week. Got me right? Some weeks the guy answered, some weeks the guy didn't answer. At the end of the year, 8 months after he took his home off the market, at the end of the year, Charlie woke up to a text message that said, can you come over and list my house today?
I'll follow up.
Because he was the only realtor that had continued to follow up. The only realtor that came to this guy's mind was Charlie, because he knew every week Charlie was going to call him consistently. It was a come list me call. Folks, you will love the come list me calls when you earn them. That means you've already done the hard work of convincing them why you. Now just go over there and price it with them. Because they've already decided you're the one. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. How many times on average do you think a realtor follows up?
Twice.
Oh,
Once. You'll follow up once. And then you are distracted by the next person who comes across your path. Ooh, squirrel. Right? And you stop following up with that person until about a month later you're like, oh, I forgot all about, and then you find out they've listed with somebody. Like that. The average person doesn't change from a negative to a positive until the 8th follow-up. So you better hope 7 other people have followed up before you and you just lucked out that you're the 8th. Because you don't follow up consistently enough. Number 4. I'll go up here. I have a buyer post. When I put the word post at the end of that quote, what did I just basically tell you? It is a social media post. I have a buyer. Please do not post the words, I have a buyer. Have a buyer. Jack and Diane are looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,500 square foot home in such and such a school district. Who knows of one? Steve is an investor looking for a home that needs to be fixed and flipped. Looking in this area, who knows of one? How many of you currently would say you do not have a buyer? You are the buyer. Would you buy a home by Georgia Tech if it was 40% below market value and would rent tomorrow for a cash flow situation? Would you find a way to get that money? Great, you're that buyer. I got a buyer, Chad, looking for a townhome down in the area of Georgia Tech for rental purposes. Yes, he's got a really cool name. Who do you know? Would somebody else in the office be your buyer, possibly? How many of you use internet lead generation through some form or another? You have a whole bunch of buyers. Maybe you've never spoken to half of them, yet do you have a bunch of buyers in there? Good, you know what they're looking for because they post on the site, this is what I'm looking for as they're searching. Go put it out there. How would you like to call them and say, I found your house, it's not on the market? Will realtors sometimes comment on the post? Okay, you can delete them if you want. You can comment, yes, we saw your listing, it wasn't good enough. All right, that'll teach them to make that comment. Or create groups or lists on Facebook and you can block those people from seeing that post. Especially that one realtor who wants to hijack it and think they can turn it into their opportunity. There's 2 reasons to make this post every week. What's one reason?
Shows you're doing your job.
You're doing your job. You have buyers. You are working. That is one. What is the second reason? You might actually get a listing. I have had plenty of people post something along this line and they would put at the end of it, direct message me or something. And they will tell me that people will pop up and say, we are thinking about selling. That sounds like our house. Which is why the buyer has to be real. Once a week, be consistent. Pick a time, pick a day, post it every week. It's a different buyer every week, yet post it every week. Yes?
Have you done like Tuesday at 3 p.m. or, are there statistics that you found that are better times?
Yes, there are statistics of better times, very good. Wednesday at the end of business, right around 3 till 4:30. Saturday morning around 10 a.m. are great times. What I would tell you is think, when are you most on Facebook? Now, I, for example, have been posting the exact same thing every Monday morning for 8 years at 8:30 in the morning Monday morning. Why? Because when I lived on the West Coast, that was 5:30 in the morning, and I was just starting the week, and I wasn't being smart and funny and anything, so I posted the same thing every Monday morning. And if you're my Facebook friend, on Monday I'm going to ask you what movie you saw over the last week and rate it from 1 to 10. Why? Because I love movies. I will tell you, people will call me, email me, Facebook message me, text message me, see me somewhere and say, I saw a movie last night, I can't wait to post it on your Facebook. Oh, okay, so you see movies and you think, Chad, I got mine share. Because for over 8 years, I've done it every Monday. 1 week, someone posted about a half hour before me. They posted, hey, tell me what movie you saw early on in the thing, probably about 6 or 7 months into me doing it. He got over 100 comments, and all of them were, get off Chad's posting. And he apologized to me. He messaged me directly. He said, I'm really sorry. Everybody really knows that's your thing. I thought I could do it for my people. He said, I guess we have too many of the same people. I said, yeah, go away. So, I have a buyer post. Yes, great question of, is there certain times? Here's the thing, though. Statistics tell us, yes, Wednesday near the end of the day and Saturday morning. Yes. That doesn't mean that has to be your time. I lived in Las Vegas for a long time. I worked in the entertainment industry in Las Vegas for a long time. You can be sure Saturday at 10 in the morning we weren't doing anything near Facebook. We had just gone to bed. Right? So I would say if I were like on that third shift, and sure, midnight was the right time to be posting. 1 a.m. was the right time to be posting. So you know your world, you know what you live in, you know the people that you're connected with. You know when to post. Yet Facebook tells us those are probably the 2 best times of the day for traffic. Now, some of you will remember way back when there was this thing called the newspaper. Some of you remember that? Okay. Newspapers had an advertising term called beneath the fold. Now, logically, that meant what?
Beneath the fold.
Beneath the fold, right? Newspapers fold in half. Most of the time, ads were across the bottom of the newspaper. And when you would read the newspaper, you would still scan across the top. Your eyes would go left to right across the top. Well, how do newspapers actually write their articles? Do they go across the page? No, they go columns, so that your eyes have to do this. Think about the last newspaper you saw. What's on the front of every newspaper?
Headline.
Okay, underneath the big headline was always a photo, and is it usually cut in half by the fold?
Yes.
You have to pick up the paper and unfold it to see the picture, because they're attempting to get you to
See the
open the newspaper so they can start driving your eye towards the bottom of the page. See, now this transferred over to the internet. When the internet came along and started killing the newspaper, and the term got changed to beneath the scroll. You go onto a website, and if you don't scroll down on the page, you don't see most of the stuff they want you to get to. Their job is to catch your eye and drive you down. Google actually tracks if you scroll on the page. They know that those pages should rank higher because people are staying other than you show up and you leave. Can we all agree that Facebook has no problem getting you to scroll?
Sure.
It's actually the opposite problem. Their problem is how do they get you to stop scrolling? Because would you agree, you do Facebook like this, and then you go, oh wait, I got to go back to something because you saw something go by. So what are those things that catch your eye, that make you stop scrolling on Facebook?
Pictures.
Okay, pictures, memes, which are pictures, okay? Videos, please know this, if you're going to put a video on Facebook, upload it directly to Facebook. If you take a video from somewhere else, what's the difference?
It doesn't play automatically.
It auto plays if you upload it to Facebook. So even if they slow down enough, the video starts moving. That's why you need motion at the beginning of your video, because it'll catch people's eye. Right? How many of you have on Facebook watched the cat ride the Roomba, even though you never clicked on it? You claimed, I didn't really watch that.
Yeah.
Yet you stopped and let the video auto play, and then you're like, okay, now I'll move on. Right? Ha 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 ha, that's so cute. Okay? So you got pictures, memes, video. What else gets you to stop scrolling?
Questions?
Well, you probably don't know there's a question there unless you've stopped scrolling to read it.
When I see the text is, like, if the post is short enough that the text is larger.
Yes, so if you can keep your post short, is the font larger? Yes, that'll catch your eye. Ads, maybe. They're doing a good job of getting you to stop. Why? Because every ad has a picture or a video that's going to it that's usually catching your eye and making you stop. What else gets you guys to stop and look on Facebook instead of just scroll, scroll, scroll?
Contrasting colors and like fonts.
Yes, okay.
If you type congrats, it like turns pink or something.
Yep, so certain words light up, okay? Using that method, how about those annoying color boxes that go around whatever you posted, right? It's like all of a sudden in a big red box that it says something, okay? I think those are stupid, lazy, yet do they catch your eye?
Yeah.
Sure. Anything else catch your eye?
Emojis.
Yeah, absolutely emojis catch your eye. If you were scrolling by and all of a sudden you saw a bunch of smiley faces or unicorn heads or something like that, wouldn't you stop to be like, oh, what the hell was that, right? Yeah, you stop. What I want you to remember is you have to keep that in mind when you're making your I Have a Buyer post. See, I taught this in a class once. Even one of my partners was in the class, one of our team members. The next day, there I was on Facebook, and she had this gorgeous picture of a tree. I hadn't told anybody I really love trees. I love trees. I could just look at trees all day. And she posted this gorgeous picture of a tree, so it stopped me. I started reading the post. I'm telling you, it was one of those posts that goes on for like 3 days. You know those people? You're like, really? Who's writing this much on Facebook? I'm reading the post, and I'm telling you, about 3/4 of the way through the post, it finally says, oh, the picture of the tree has absolutely nothing to do with anything in this post. It was just to see if you would stop and read. And I was like, damn it, I just taught her that and I fell for it. Okay? You got to get them to stop and look. Stop and look. Big reveal, what's on the back. Nothing! Number 5. Every seller, every week. I'll explain this. This will not get you new listings. This will keep the listings you have. What is it?
Block. Time block.
Kind of clock.
Random.
What's missing?
The pendulum.
Right, the thing we don't know what it's actually called that just swing you can. It's called a pendulum. What's the job of a pendulum?
Keeps time.
Does that, right? Can we agree it goes back and forth and back and forth?
Yes.
Will a pendulum ever actually stop in the middle? No, it'll always do what?
Swing.
Go one way or the other, one way or the other, one way or the other. By show of hands, how many of you have been in real estate less than 8 years? You have never seen a buyer's market. You don't know what a buyer's market looks like. It's been over 8 years since we've been in a buyer's market. You have no idea what you're in for.
Exciting.
You don't. You have no idea what you're in for. I was coaching with one of my partners the other day. I said, what's the one thing we need to focus on in our coaching call today? She said, Chad, I got this listing I just can't get sold. So tell me more about it. When did you list it? She said 2 weeks ago. I said, shut up. 2 weeks ago. You will, and forgive me for just putting it this way, just an easy way to put it. You will take a listing and then go be intimate with your spouse on the same day, because you'll celebrate you got the listing. You'll have the baby before the listing sells. You need to start understanding that that's the market you're about to get into. It will not be unheard of for 9, 10, 11, 12 months before the home goes under contract. How many of you normally take 6-month listings or less? Better change that. All you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot. Okay? Every seller, every week. We have at United Home Group what we call the 2-to-1 method. That is, you need to touch them twice every week, and once must be by voice. You need to touch them twice every week, and one needs to be by voice. What's another way to touch them other than voice?
Email.
Okay, email. What else?
Text.
Text. What else?
Social media.
Social media. I heard someone say snail mail. Anything else? Sure. Pop by, see them in person, door knocks, on along those lines. Okay? You could probably come up with some others, yet you need to have one way that's not, at least, and one way that is. You want to call them twice, that's great, yet at least one has to be voice. And you should update every seller every week. Because here's the thing, yes?
Does that fall on your Wednesday, or is that a different day?
For me, it was a different day. It could be part of your Wednesday. This was also before I knew Cody and we worked together like this, so I had my own system for it. Here's the thing. How many of you can guess the answer, and you all can, if I said to you right now that there's one main thing that every expired would complain about, what would it be? Communication with their realtor. You see, here's the thing. How many of you in the room are great communicators? You're not if you have to tell me you are. Just so you know. If you have to tell someone you're a great communicator, guess what you're not? A great communicator. They should know.
Okay.
Right? So, first thing I want you to understand is you are that realtor they don't like. And let me tell you why. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to take the listing and you're going to contact them week 1 because you're excited. You just took a listing, right? And nothing can go wrong on week 1, so you're going to contact them. Now week 2 is going to show up. Is it possible nobody has shown up to see the house in the first week? Sure, it's possible. Yeah, week 2, that's easy, right? Pick up the phone. Don't worry, it's new. They just missed it. It was the holiday weekend. The Super Bowl was here. Don't worry about it, right? Week 3 starts to show up. Now, if you know your statistics, and if they have had no offers or not enough showings, what should you be doing already on week 3? You should be talking about a price correction. We don't drop prices. We correct prices or adjust prices. Okay? Dropping prices, that sounds so negative. We're going to drop your price. Oh, now you're just giving my house away. Right? Hey, the market is showing us we need to correct. Now, obviously, we were off. So, week 3 shows up and it's time to do a price correction. So guess what we do?
We don't call.
Nothing. Exactly. We avoid the call because we don't want to do it. And we say, oh, let's give it one more week. And then week 4 shows up. And on week 4, we know we need the correction, and we just find any reason not to call, to be busy doing something else. And then week 5 shows up. And on week 5, they call you. And you don't answer. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to them right now. Okay? And now all of a sudden week 6 shows up, and you go, well, I can't call them now. I've just ignored them for so many weeks. How could I possibly call now for a price correction? And next thing you know, you're sneaking over in the middle of the night to take your lockbox off the door and your sign down because the property expired. And you're that realtor who did crappy communication. If you have a method, you have no choice. My script was this. Every listing I took, and I took a lot, I said at the listing, I will call you Tuesday on the lunch break. There are 2 reasons I will not call you on Tuesday at the lunch break. 1, I won the lottery. 2, I'm dead. Now here's the thing. I don't play the lottery, so if I don't call on Tuesday, will you reach out to my wife, please? And that was my script. Now what did I have to do every Tuesday at lunch? Call. Can you agree that it takes a minute or 2 minutes to call a listing that you have and give them your update? Yeah, I called on Tuesday for one reason. Because I knew that if we were going to get any offers, any feedback, anything from over the weekend, by the end of the day, Monday, I would have it. So now I could give it to them on Tuesday. And if on Tuesday I didn't get anything, I could be saying to them, look, none of the realtors gave me any feedback on your home. Did you have any cards on your counter I don't know about? Did you let anybody into the house that I don't know about from the lockbox? Okay, well, hey, your neighbor listed their house. We need to talk about this. Hey, this happened. We need to do that. Hey, thumbs up, right? It was cold, crummy weather. Maybe that's our reason. Let's just hold on another week. I still think we're price correct, whatever it might be. It's a short conversation to have. How many of you have 3 or fewer listings right now? And 0 is 3 or fewer. Okay, folks, you need to start acting right now like you've got 10 listings. Because right now you can entrepreneurially just stay on top of them. Yet what's going to happen is you're going to grow in your listings and you better have a system in place now. Now, can we agree that there's that one seller you know that even though it should only be a 2-minute conversation, you know it's going to turn into a 22-minute conversation? Yeah. So there's an app out there you should have, and it's called Slydial. Slydial. Now, Slydial, you will open the app, it will look like a telephone keypad, you will dial the phone number. You will listen to an ad because you're too cheap to pay for the full version. And you will go right into their voicemail. And it will show up as a missed call voicemail for them. There's nothing else to it. Okay. You will open it up, you will dial. Hey, you use it enough, you might even pay for the full version. Now you won't even have to listen to the ad. You'll still go right to their voicemail and it will show up as missed call and voicemail on their phone right away. Now here's the thing, you better make your voicemail correct. Right? And my voicemail would sound something like this. Hey, it's Chad. I'm just about to run into an appointment, yet I have to call you every Tuesday at lunch, so I'm leaving you a voicemail to say I got no update for you this week. I'll call you next week. Because now when they see missed call, voicemail, and they just immediately dial me back, what's my excuse for not answering? I was going into an appointment. Because sometimes you're going to have an appointment over that lunch break on a Tuesday. Yet I still need to call. Now here's the thing. You can't slide dial back-to-back weeks. You have to call them. Sometimes you might pray before the call. You have to call them. You can't just keep slide dialing. They're going to catch on to you. Why do you always go right to my voicemail? And you have an appointment at that exact time. Every week. They're going to catch on. Yet every now and then you're allowed to, I don't want the conversation today. Side note, it works on moms too. Moms in the room. There are just times where you don't want to talk to mom. Yet you still need to call and leave the voicemail, right? Just happens. Sorry, mom. Okay, so every seller, every week. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about this shift thing we keep hearing about, correct? Okay, I need a will you be my volunteer? Chandler, did I get that right? Okay, because you're closest. You don't have to move, okay? I'm going to draw on the dry erase board. Now I'm going to start going in an upward direction. Okay? At some point I'm going to turn and start going down. Will you stop me right when I reach the top? Okay? Do you understand? Okay. Can you see? Okay, here we go.
Stop.
Now I'm going to go down and do it again, and we're going to do it a few times. Will you just keep yelling stop when you think I'm at the point? Okay, you missed that one. Yeah, that was at the bottom too. Right? So let's go up to the top.
Stop.
Okay, you got me there.
Stop.
Oh, you got me there.
Stop.
Okay, I slowed down and gave you that one.
Stop. Stop.
Stop.
Now, let me show you the point. And you all would have fallen into the exact same situation that he fell into. Do you think he'll ever be able to tell me exactly when I'm where? At the top or the bottom? No. Okay. The only way he'll know we were at the top or the bottom is when?
It's already happened.
Is after it's happened. So where's the pendulum?
If your buyers become sellers, and you're so
Where's your pendulum on the market right now?
Moving towards buyer.
You tell me it's moving towards a buyer's market. Can you agree? Yet is it here moving towards it? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Heck, is it already there? There's only one way we'll know, and what will that be? 3 months from now when we can look back and say, aha! It happened. Okay? You can't let your sellers chase the market. Because when they chase the market, they'll never price the market. Just do this exercise with them, explain that to them.
Okay.
They're chasing the market if they're guessing where they think we are on the trend right now. You don't know any better than they do. All you can do is based on the last 3 months. We don't know. Go to family reunion like Gary showed you, because his team's doing tons of research on it. Okay. Every seller, every week, do the 2-to-1 method. If I were working currently with sellers, I would have an email set up every Friday that I sent out that was my weekly real estate forecast. That would be my concept. It's the weekly real estate forecast. I would spend some money on one of those websites out there and I would buy some images. Like a house with sun coming over it, a house with a rain cloud over it, a house that's, blown over, all the different images that I could have that were weather-y. And I would send that out on Friday to every one of my sellers. I would blind carbon copy them so I only had to send one email. Yet I would mail merge. You all know what that means by now, right? That's so the email says, hey Chandler, hey Debbie, hey Steve, even though I just sent one email, right? And I would say something like, the weather forecast for real estate this weekend looks clear. Right? Weather is actually calling to be nice. Nothing going on this weekend. It's the weekend between football playoffs. Should be a lot of traffic out there, blah, 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 right? Next weekend, it might be the weather forecast for this weekend is rainy. I think with the Super Bowl on Sunday, we're not going to get a lot of people looking at properties out there. They're going to be hunkered down, especially because it's here in Atlanta, blah, blah, right? Now I can send that out to everybody once a week. I would just make my life easy when it comes to that kind of stuff. And for those of you going to family reunion, you should be very thankful the Saints lost. Because there's nothing worse than being in New Orleans right after they were in or won a Super Bowl.
That's fine.
Okay, because last time we went, they had just won. And oh my God, Mardi Gras and the Super Bowl? That place was a disaster. All right, number 6. Are there any brokers in the room representing the market center? Good. Brokers, stop watching. Okay, number 6 is for sale by owner deals if you must. Now you don't must. There is no must for you. I'll explain why Cody has this one in here as one of the important things. You see, when he built the program, he built it off someone he was coaching at the time. And his coaching at the time put him in a position where the guy said, Cody, I'm going to get 10 listings this month. I've never done more than 3. I'm going to get 10 listings this month. And he said, I've never done more than 3. Cody, through your coaching, what I'm going to do, we're going to get 10 listings this month. And Cody said, and if you don't, what are you going to do? And the guy said something like shave his head, I don't know, whatever it was, run naked through the neighborhood. I don't know what it was. It was something he did not want to do, okay? So on the last day of the month, the guy calls Cody. They had their check-in on like the 31st of the month. And Cody says, how you doing? The guy says, Cody, I got 9 listings. Cody said, that's great. What was the goal? And the guy says, Cody, I've never had more than 3. And I got 9 listings. Cody's like, that's awesome. What was the goal? The guy's like, Cody, I don't think you're listening to me. I've never had more than 3 and I got 9. And Cody's like, oh, I'm listening. That's awesome. You're not listening to me. What was the goal? I said 10. And Cody said, well, go find one. Month's almost over. Click. Now Cody got a call from the guy at about 5:20 p.m. that night. The guy said, Cody, I know I was supposed to call you before 5 o'clock, before the day was over officially, to let you know that I had gotten it. I have a good reason I'm calling late. And Cody said, well, what was the reason you're calling late? He said, well, when my wife came home and saw a for sale sign in the yard, I had to explain I wasn't leaving. And he listed his own house. Because he couldn't find a 10th listing. And nowhere did it say he couldn't do that in the rules. Folks, let me ask you this.
Oh my gosh.
If I offered you $50,000 more than your house is worth today, how many of you would sell it? Okay, why don't you list it? Isn't every other seller unrealistic about the price? Why don't you be unrealistic about the price? Just know your scripts. Oh, that seller's asking way too much. There's this cute house around the corner I'd love to show you, though. I would bet if I walked into Gary's Top 100 Mastermind, at least 50% of them at one point or another have listed their own home. Without the intention of moving. Because what's the purpose of taking a listing?
To get listed.
Leads. So, another thing you can do other than list your own home, because some of you don't own your own home, some of you don't have good traffic, so putting a sign in your condo window is not going to do you much good. Can we make deals with for sale by owners if we have to? Sure. What kind of deal could I make with a for sale by owner? What kind of deal? What's the obvious deal I can make with a for sale by owner? Reduce my commission. Right? I mean, right now I'm getting nothing from them. So even if I only did it at 2%, is that better than 0? Okay. Now I'm not telling you to do this all the time. I'm not telling you this should be your standard. Go check with your broker if there's any rules for your market center. One of the market centers won't allow them to do stuff like this. That's what was agreed upon by the market center. Yet I want you to understand, could you go right now and say to a for sale by owner, I'll do it for 5%, let me help you get your home sold? You could. Okay? Don't do it all the time though.
You could just list it for the weekend and do the open house and do it a regular commission, standardized, so we're not.
That's 2 different things. I can do an open house, or I could list it for just the weekend. You don't have to even have it listed to do the open house, do you? You just need to have an agreement with them for the open house. You see, here's where I think most of you do an open house wrong for sale by owners. Anybody here ever do an open house for sale by owner? Okay, I'll bet most of you, if you are thinking about doing one or have done one, you've done it wrong. Let me help you. The goal of a for sale by owner open house is not to say to the for sale by owner, get out, I'm going to sit your house as an open house. The goal of a for sale by owner open house is to say, let's hang out together. I'm going to do an open house for you. Now, how many of you have ever done an open house? Ever? Okay. Have you ever had people walk into your open houses? Okay. The minority of you can now tell me someone has walked in and bought that house. Is there anybody who's actually had someone walk in and bought it? Okay, so you guys have had some awesome success. Can we agree that that is abnormal? Most of the time you have a lot of people or a few people show up and no, they're not interested. Because if you sat at the door of an open house and asked people the price before they even walked in, they'll usually be $50,000 off. They just think it should be the price they want it to be. So what I know is that odds are I'm not selling the open house at the open house. So I would say to the for sale by owner, okay, we're going to do the open house. We'll be there from 2 till 4. Let's hang out from 2 to 4. Here's what's going to happen. Anybody who walks into the property, I'm going to introduce them to you. Because it's your house. And you want to sell it, right? So you take them from there. Now, would you agree that someone's going to walk into your house, and because they don't know from the outside, they're not going to like that your master bedroom's upstairs. They were hoping it was downstairs. Or that they're going to need a loft space for their kids or something, and you just don't have that? Okay, so not everyone's going to love your house. I want to talk to those people. Is that fair? Because maybe I can help find them a house. And let's work together to see if I can help you sell your house and if I can find another client.
Okay.
Because would we all agree that the odds are someone's not walking in and buying it? I would even do it for free if they did. Just to let me have the property. Because now he's probably a buyer who will work with me because of what I just did for him. Now, after 2 hours of sitting at the open house, can we agree one of two things have happened? Nobody showed up, or a lot of people showed up. Which one do you want to do first? A lot of people showed up, I heard first. Okay, a lot of people showed up. Well, look what I just did for you, Mr. For Sale by Owner. As a professional realtor, I drove more traffic into your house than you've probably seen in I don't know how long. Wouldn't it make sense that I go into a full marketing blitz for you? Here's what we'll do. We'll take everybody who showed up today, we'll put them on the exempt list. If any of them come to buy the property, I will step away from the transaction like I promised you. Yet if not, let me do what a realtor is supposed to do for you. Okay? The other option is nobody shows up. Hey, Mr. For Sale by Owner, that we've been hanging out together for 2 hours, so I know way more about you and why you're moving and all the stuff that's going on. Can you see that open houses are not the way to sell a house? And it's the only true method that a For Sale by Owner has to get their home sold? Don't you think it makes sense for me to do my full marketing package for you and see if I can get your home sold the right way?
That's good.
We call it win-win for me. The only loss, the only way you can lose, one person shows up at the open house, buys the open house that I told the For Sale by Owner I would do for nothing, and the seller doesn't need anything from me because they already have where they're moving to, or they're going somewhere that doesn't need a referral or something. They're moving into like an assisted living home, so they don't have to buy anything. That's the only way I could possibly lose. And then even then I might still get a referral from them for friends. Stop telling them to get out of the house so you can use it, so then you lie to them about who showed up or what happened. Your goal is to get the listing. Yes?
And my thought process is, can we perhaps think of creative solutions before we default to cut our commission? As a company in the industry, and that's probably me just saying that.
No, it's not. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, because the first thing was like cut commission. My thought is, can we think of a creative solution first before we always default to cut our commission?
Yep. We never cut our commission on our team.
Every time we cut.
We will not cut our commission on our team. We will offer you an adjustable commission.
And I'm not saying that about you. I'm just saying this because I'm on the LC.
Oh, I understand.
I'm on the LC of this team, of this conference. So
I understand. I'm going to tell you what we do is we say we'll do an adjustable commission. We'll do it for 1% if you bring the client, the buyer. We'll do the paperwork to keep you legal. I'm going to do it for 3% if I find the buyer myself. It's going to be the full 7% if someone else brings the buyer for all the work that both realtors are going to have to do. Folks, how many of you really bring the buyer to your own listings most of the time? You don't. So you're full commission.
You said 7%?
You caught that.
So you list it as 3 and you get 4?
Yeah. Yes. Because that's how I was taught. It was a 7% listing. I can get it every day still. But other people do it for 5. Okay, are you looking for the low ball? Because if you're looking for the low ball, great. I want you to understand who the realtor is that's representing you. Right? I mean, I don't have the cards in front of me that I could do it. I mean, you've hopefully all seen this script, right? Sir, let me explain to you how commissions work. Right? And I'll pull out $7 bills. I'll say the first thing I have to do is I have to give $3, 3%, to the other realtor who shows up, because that's what they're getting elsewhere, and if we don't offer that, they're not going to show our house. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm left with this much. Well, one, I have to give to my broker. By law, we must be represented by a broker. Every realtor is going to have to do it. I have to give to my broker. Number 2 is I have to pay Uncle Sam. You don't want me going to jail, do you? No. Now I'm left with 2. Notice the fingers I use. Okay, I'm left with 2. One will feed my family. One will market your home. Which one do you want me to get rid of? Because I can tell you, the other realtor that's lowballing you, they're going to make sure they feed their family. Oh, sorry.
What's your rebuttal if you're a broker?
You're not a broker. Even if you have a broker's license, you still have to pay Keller Williams as your broker.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who could get away with that is, honestly, if Mark Spain showed up to take the listing, or Rhonda Duffy herself showed up to take the listing. Do you think Rhonda or Mark are taking listings?
No.
No. All right? Your designated broker's sitting in an office doing designated brokery stuff. They're not out taking listings. And even if you have a broker's license, you're still having to pay Keller Williams, aren't you? Yes. Even once you've capped. They don't need to understand all that stuff. You still have to pay your brokerage. You want to do 6? Fantastic. You want to do 7? Awesome. You want to do 3? Knock yourself out. I don't agree with it. I don't support it. And I will teach you all day long the 4 different commission objections to get full commission based on their DISC profile. Is there anybody in the room who understands the DISC profile?
Yes.
Okay, if you do not, go learn it. Okay? Clearly there's D-I-S-C. Okay? Sum them up really quickly. D is the New Yorker.
Yeah.
You're looking at it. Okay? I is the lampshade at the party person. Right? Life of the party person. You know who they are. Okay? S, systematized. They're the people who like jobs with paychecks. They like to know. Right? And then the C are the compliant people. They're your engineers, your accountants, things like that. Now here's the thing that you all are incorrect on. How many of you think you're a D? How many of you think you're an I? I will tell you that total, 10% of the whole world are D's or I's. Only 3% of the world are D's. If everybody was a D that thinks they're a D, we'd be at war all the time. Like, I mean, ugly war.
Yeah.
Okay? If everybody was an I, nobody would listen to anybody because everybody has to be the life in the center of the party. So only 10% of the whole world are D's and I's. Now, when a D gives you the objection on will you reduce your commission, I'll tell you how you handle a D. No. Next question. You just move on.
Yeah.
An I, very easy. Yes, I will adjust your commission for you. You tell me when you're at a number you want me to stop. 6, 7, 8, 9. You want me to start over for you? I'll give you a second chance. 6, 7, 8. What other broker?
When you're at the closing and they get the HUD. So
I don't care. They know what they were getting paid. It's none of their business what I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Right?
They knew that in the beginning anyway. Commission rate.
They knew that it was right there that said they're going to get 3%. They're okay.
Cool.
Okay? S's are most of the world. When in doubt, they're an S. 63% of the world. Okay? S was simple. Did someone else tell you they would do it for less? So what you're telling me is you out negotiated the person representing you in negotiations? How's that make you feel? Right? S's will be like, and then a C, you do the break it down by the dollars because they want to see how it actually works. Right? 3% to them, 1% to my broker, 1% to Uncle Sam, 1% to my family, and 1% to market your home. Which one do you want me to eliminate? Because the other realtor gave a bunch of them away. You can be sure most realtors aren't paying Uncle Sam on April 15th like they're supposed to. So they eliminated that and hoped that the next deal would give it to them. And they're not marketing your house. That's why they're doing it for 5%. They're just hoping putting it in the MLS will sell it for you and they don't have to spend any money. Okay? Folks, I am not up here telling you make these deals for commission. I'm telling you it's an option, yet I wouldn't make it.
Understood.
I never reduced my commission unless it was a double-ended transaction, like they sold with me and then bought another house with me. And then my wording to them was always, I will contribute 1% of the lowest sales price to the second closing. I will contribute 1% of the lower price transaction to the second closing. Which means if they sell the listing with me and then go buy with someone else, there's no contribution. Whichever one closed second got a 1% of the lower of the two. If they were moving up, it was based on the house they sold. If they were moving down, it was based on the house they bought. That was the only time I ever gave anybody back commission. I earned my money. Do your job, earn your money. If you're doing things like this, you're earning your money. Because most realtors aren't doing it. Number 7. Before I write number 7, who can remember? Oh, turn it off? I wasn't really going to turn it off. I was just staring at it. Plus, I'll probably break it. So, and I love Robin, so if she's still watching. Okay, so, we miss you. Okay, so, what was number 1? Without looking. Okay, it's the mindset. If you didn't remember that one, you haven't been here with me. 1 appointment a day. What's number 2? Not one FSBO or expired every day. Good. What did I tell you would say about the first one? Duh. Okay. What did I tell you to say about the second one? Right? Because you don't want to do it. Can you agree? Most of you don't want to do it. Okay. What did I tell you about 3, 4, 5, and 6? You would say, right, they're funny. So what was number 3? Follow-up Wednesday. Good. What was number 4? Yeah, I have the buyer post. What was number 5?
Every seller every week.
Every seller every week. What was number 6? FSBO deals. And I told you what number 7 was, and what did I tell you were going to say about number 7? You would know it. You knew you needed it. Yet at the same time, you didn't want to hear it. It should have been number 1. What have you been telling me I've been doing really well all day?
Communicating.
Scripts. You refuse to learn your scripts for one reason. How many of you will admit in the room you don't like doing scripts? Just don't lie to me, right? Your team leader's not here. Okay? Here's why you don't like doing scripts. See, he's already out. He's walking away. He's like, screw this. It's scripts. I'm out. I'll tell you why you don't like doing scripts. Because you don't sound like the person who wrote the script. You don't sound like Gary Keller. You don't sound like Diana Kokoska. You don't sound like Chad Hyams. You don't sound like whoever gave you the script. Step 1, internalize the script. Step 2, customize the script. Stop memorizing scripts. Internalize them, then customize them. You see, you're from the South. And not all of you. I'm making a general statement because I'm in the South. Yet nowhere in any script have I ever seen at Keller Williams it says the word y'all. It doesn't say y'all.
Nope.
Yet to some of you that is so natural that you can't say you all. You just can't do it.
Nope.
Well, if you internalize the script and customize it, it'll come out as y'all. And it's okay. Because who are you probably talking to? Someone else that says y'all. So here's how I learned scripts. Let me tell you how I learned scripts so that you then can go learn scripts if you want my way. Here's my way to do it. I take whatever script I'm going to learn for that day. And I read it out loud as fast as I can 5 times. No emotion. Okay? Have hope, be strong, laugh loud, play hard, live in the moment, smile often, dream big, remember you are loved. Have hope, be strong, laugh loud, play hard, live in the moment, smile often, dream big, remember you are loved. I'm telling you that you're loved. You understand that, right? I'm not reading something over your shoulder. I'm just telling you that you are loved. Okay, you're getting emotional there for a minute, right? I would do that 5 times really fast. 5 times really fast in the morning. I would do it 5 times really fast at lunchtime. I would do it 5 times really fast somewhere near the end of the day. I would wake up tomorrow morning and say, can I do it without looking? Can I come really, really close? And if I can, check next script. If I can't, I do it again. I got to learn it today again if I couldn't do it from yesterday. Would you agree that some scripts you'll have by the end of one day?
Yes.
Would you agree some scripts are going to take you a week or 2 to get?
Yes.
Yeah. That's how I learn scripts, yes.
What if you're open to using scripts but you don't enjoy practicing with other people?
Okay, because they're different. Script practice is on your own. Role play is what you do with other people. Script practice is me saying, have hope, be strong, laugh loud, play hard, live in the moment, smile often, dream big, remember you are loved. Okay? That is my script practice. Role play is, you're going to be my role play partner. You're a for sale by owner. You've been called by so many realtors. You've been frustrated because you haven't gotten your home sold. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, ring, ring, ring. Right? And then we're going to go into it. Now, here's the thing. When you have a role play partner, here's what they should do for you. They should object. They should object. They should give you the appointment. Stop being that role play partner that says, he'll never get me. Right? I'm going to be a jerk. Well, why else shouldn't we meet? Well, aliens might show up tomorrow, and I don't think we should get together because of that. I got to prepare my cat. What am I supposed to say to that? You're just being a jerk now, role play partner. Okay? It's object, give them the appointment, because we want them to learn to earn the appointment. Here's what I will tell you. If you're not practicing role playing with somebody, then you're doing it on your clients, and you're too late by then. I would have 2 or 3 different role play partners. I would not have one person that I'm always reliant on. Why? Because I'm going to figure out how to beat you every time. I would want a D, I would want an I, I would want an S, I would want a C, I would want them to be different types of people. Because can you agree, I will give you a different objection than this lovely lady because she just looks nice. Right? I'm going to give you a different objection in that situation. I would want somebody who's experienced. Why? Because they've heard a lot of things. Would I also want someone who's new? Why? Because they know what's going on in the world differently. Can you agree that those of us who have been in real estate for 10, 15, 20 years from now, we actually used to have a book that was the MLS.
Yep.
Right? New realtor, you don't even think twice about this, that, the other, right? So would I want you to be the person I'm practicing on sometimes? Sure, because you're going to challenge me with different things. Here's the thing. Let me ask you a simple question, because so many of you don't like doing scripts. I gave you my way to do it. I'm just going to ask you a question, simple question. What letter in the alphabet comes after N? How many of you will admit you just went LMNOP to figure that out? Okay, you even went all the way to P and you don't need to. Because I asked what was the letter after N. Why? Because it's a script you learned as a kid. Some of you went all the way back to A. You're like, wait, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R. Wait, I went past it. Hold on. A, B, C, D, E. You know you do it when you file things.
Yeah.
You start singing the song. Why? Because it's a script. It's a script. Folks, did I look at notes while I taught you the 7 steps to 10 listings?
No.
No. Guess what it is, though? The whole class is a script. It's a 2-hour-long script, yet it's a script. You think I've taught it before? You think I've used the jokes before?
Yes.
You think I've used the stories before?
Yes.
Do you think something might have been a little different because your room forced it?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. It's a script. I will give you a line from a movie, and you will know the movie. Let's see who can tell me the movie the fastest. You're going to need a bigger boat.
Jaws.
Thank you very much. Right? You're going to need a bigger boat. Jaws. Shark comes up. Roy Scheider sees the shark, walks into the captain's area on the boat, says, you're going to need a bigger boat. Right? Because they've seen the size of this shark. Folks, I want you to know something. That was an ad-lib. That wasn't in the script. Yet how did Roy get away with that line? He knew the script so well and knew his character that he knew he could say that. Because that's what his character would have said. The idea of a script is not to only use the script. The idea of the script is that when you need to ad-lib, you know how to get back to where you need to go. It's like driving. I drove to Savannah for a race back in November. Folks, how do you get to Savannah? You get on 16 and you just keep going. There's no other way. Yet I was using Waze, and all of a sudden Waze said exit. And my wife looked at me and said, don't argue with her. Right? I don't know how many of us argue with her, and we're always wrong. Okay? She made us get off the highway, drive 2 miles out of our way, 3 miles that way, 2 miles back this way to get us back on the exact same highway. And we could look behind us and we saw that there was construction that actually had the highway to standstill. The script is knowing I can ad-lib and then how to get back to the script. Stop thinking about I have to follow the script perfectly. You have to know the script before you can deviate from the script. You don't even know the script, so you're just guessing. You're in an improv group. And most people just laugh at the improv people. They take the other people seriously. Get it?
Yeah.
Okay, wherever you're taking your notes, draw a line across the bottom of the page. Draw a line across the bottom of the page. And I want you to write 1, just the number 1. And what I want you to write is not your one aha from today. Can I hope that you got more than one aha?
Yes.
Would you agree, some of you, that slide dial was your aha? Right? Hate when that's what they get out of the class. Okay. What I want you to write is the one thing you will implement moving forward differently in your business. Because you can get ahas all day long, yet if you're not going to implement something, you won't do anything different. I don't want you to write 5 things you could implement. I want you to write 1 thing you could implement. When you're done implementing that thing, could you go back to your paperwork and find another thing to implement?
Yes.
Sure. Yet if you came up with 5 things to implement, how many would you do?
None.
None of them.
Alright.
So I'm going to challenge you to write 1 thing you would implement. And we're going to hear 5 of them before I let the room leave. Now, before I start hearing the 5 of them, I flipped it back this way for this. To remind you, if you want the checklist that we send out to anybody, you must visit this website before you go to bed tonight. Because tomorrow morning I get up, and I'll get up before you. I will probably have already pulled the names off it to get it sent out to you to send you that checklist. Okay? Can I send scripts as well? No. Because you have plenty of them. Between Bold, Ignite, here in the Market Center, you'll have plenty of scripts. The only scripts that I have are for my team. We have our United Home Group script book. Otherwise, most of them are all just here because I had to learn them for so long. So I need to hear 5 things you will implement. Number 1 came from over here.
7%.
You're going to start asking for 7%. Okay, yes?
I'm going to change my route.
Change your route when you come in so you're driving a different direction.
I'm going to start doing number 2.
You're going to start knocking a for sale by owner or. Now, do you come into the office every day?
No.
No. Do you have an accountability partner?
Yes.
Are they here in the room as we speak?
No.
Okay, text them the address you knocked every single day to prove you did it.
Okay.
Right? Okay? Yes?
I like the physical package.
Putting together that scary FSBO packet using all the sample forms from the MLS. Okay? Good. What else? Yes?
Follow up Wednesday.
You're going to create a follow-up day. Folks, was the time together worth it?
Yes.
I'm going to come back, and here's the thing. I've already told Dory I would be back. She's already got, I don't even know if she has me on the calendar or we're just talking about when it's going to be. I will come back. I will teach more. Here's the thing. They don't go live if you don't fill the room. So if you know you can't make it, send somebody who can to make sure you can watch it from wherever you are if you need to. All right? Yes, sir?
Do you know if it's being recorded?
I have no idea if it was being recorded. If not, oh well. If it was, shouldn't have been. Okay. So, if it was recorded, lucky you. I know they were going to put it on your YouTube channel or whatever it was. So, I don't know if it's still there. Get out of here. Have a great day. Thanks, gang.
Thank you.
Oh, and remember to turn your phones on. You'll wonder why no one's calling you all day. My pleasure. Thank you. Which one?
Tom, you're like halfway
Sure.
I turned mine off. I was not seeing it.
He was saying.
I did too. I think it's actually next to mine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like it's all about.
Oh, I think
So you guys at the office? Yeah. I'm
Glad you heard it that way today. Amazing. Nice to meet you. Good luck.
Right. Yeah.
Robin says hi, everybody.
I recently moved to Boston. So it's like,
I need to see them all
Half marathon this weekend. Yeah, we were there on Sunday. I have no idea. It's around the room somewhere. My pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, really got a lot out of it. I'm new as of just like a couple months.
Okay.
What's going
Well, no, there's one that's in, this is not
Today's class is focused on listening. It can be an appointment to talk face to face with someone about doing something you're listening to.
Okay, so I have no idea.
You know what, I'm looking at
Well, I'm in the process of doing it, but so it's impossible for me to implement that right now.
No, it's not. Because you don't have mindset.
But I don't know. I have a point set up for people
And then
for lunch, meeting up for coffee.
at first, that might be what your appointment is. I'm going to meet somebody every day just to reconnect. Then once you've done enough of that, then you'll start to be like, wait, now I need the listing opportunity or the buyer appointment, so I'm having that conversation. And remember, this is for sale by owners. There's expired. There's internet lead generation that you can be doing, or somebody might have extra leads. There's referrals from other grocers that don't work in this office that need someone in Atlanta. You can lead generate those people.
I haven't even thought about going to the family reunion. I don't even know really what that is.
It's our convention. Yeah, it's over the weekend right after Valentine's Day. I mean, it's still possible. Otherwise, we do a mid-year convention in August, September in Austin every year as well. Yes, it's always very warm. You know, you'll have 10,000 people there all walking around learning, training, sharing, talking to each other. If you go and you meet people and talk with people, you'll develop relationships with people. If you do go, don't hang out with these people. You can see these people. But right now, start with your appointments just being reconnect appointments, and we'll grow from there.
When you go on these appointments,
Not at all.